Welcome back. You are tuned in to Traders Nation. It's my pleasure to have with us here today book author, best-selling book author, by the way, Toni Turner. Book author, A Beginner's Guide to Day Trading Online. Toni, welcome to Traders Nation. How are you today?
Great, Kurt. Thank you.
Good, good. Hey, listen, what brought you to write A Beginner's Guide to Day Trading Online? I know at one time, and it's still kind of popular, isn't it, that day trade, but at one time everybody wanted to get into the markets and day trade, right?
Oh, absolutely, Kurt. And I was one of those people. I jumped in head first, just like everybody else, back in the mid-'90s.
Yeah.
And at the time, I happened to be a professional writer when I dove in head first. So I endured the usual very, very painful initiation. But back then, there weren't books on trading out, and the ones that were out, quite honestly, as a beginner, I couldn't understand. So after I worked through my initiation period and that learning curve and came out the other side and began to be a profitable trader, my friend said to me, "Gosh, Toni, write a book about trading.
Right.
You're a writer, and now you're a trader, and that works." And it's worked for me ever since.
Yeah, it only makes sense, doesn't it, Toni? I mean, listen, back then, you're absolutely right. There wasn't a lot of material out there as like, what is this day trading thing? And some of the best lessons that you learned, would you agree, were, one, when you made money, but also, two, on the flip side, when you lost money. Why did I lose this money?
Oh, I know. And, back then, Kurt, we were all jumping into stocks. They were four-letter stocks. We had no clue what these companies did.
Right.
And we would jump in head first, and sometimes we would absolutely get creamed.
Right.
Actually, most of the time.
Right.
And we didn't know why. Now, I've noticed a huge change. Today's trader is an entirely different person. We're educated. We think first. We research first. We recognize sectors first. We do our analysis first. And that's huge. I mean, that's what you have to do. Really?
Yes. Here's the thing about this, too, Toni, is that the day trader today, you're absolutely right, is much more savvier today.
Oh, yeah.
He and she, they do their homework. They know charts. They learn charts. Back then, it was like, okay, that looks like a good stock, and you throw darts, and it was a hit and miss. But today, it's a different breed. Oh, it's almost like 10 years of boot camp, if you will.
It has been 10 years of boot camp. You know what they say, Kurt? How long does it take to become a good trader? 5 years if you're smart, 10 years if you're really smart.
Right, exactly. All right, so let's talk about what are the benefits, Toni, of day trading. There are some, and of course, there's some flip sides to it, too. But what are the benefits of day trading?
Oh, the benefits of day trading actually, I think, are kind of different than some people think. If you're a day trader, it forces you just have to learn how to read charts. You have to learn how the market works. You have to become very familiar with risk-reward analysis. You have to do your pre-market analysis. I'm writing for tradingmarkets.com now, and websites like those provide a wealth of information to people. Learn where Asia closed last night.
Sure.
Learn how the markets work. And people who I know a lot of people, actually retired people, I just did a seminar, they said, I want to learn how to day trade so that I understand the bigger market picture, learn how to read these charts.
Right.
And of course, day trading is a great way to jump in, make a little money, and jump back out. And actually, some people who who have a low-risk mentality because of the abbreviated time frame, sometimes actually do well in this arena because they're not exposed overnight.
All right, so somebody that's new to trading, they want to try this. They figure, well, markets are down. My mutual fund portfolio is at 3%. I can do better. What do you suggest? Learn how to read charts. Maybe get a copy of Pro Online Trader DVD or DVD. And paper trade. Would you agree that maybe paper trading is the best way to start off?
Oh, absolutely, positively. You have to paper trade because how else can you learn what surprises the markets are going to give you? And you need to go in. Before you enter any trade or any investment, or even if you're going to be a successful paper trader, which leads to bigger things,
Yeah.
you've got to learn how the markets work, what kinds of, and when economic data comes out, what effects that has on the market. And we never know until it happens most of the time.
Right. There is a flip side to Wall Street, and that is that Wall Street really takes no prisoners. So it's brutal. And they have to, if you want to get into this, you have to learn, and definitely without a doubt, as we just discussed, paper trade, just for that reason.
Well, you know what we always say, Kurt, learn before you burn.
That's right, because you will. My first trade way back then, I found out what a pump and dump was. Okay.
Oh, boy.
I found out what that was. But nonetheless, I learned my lesson. I licked my wounds. I recovered. And I says, you know what? And that's what I said to myself. I'm going to have to be smarter about this. And I'm glad that I took the steps to preserve my bankroll and educate myself on all the different facets when it comes to trading stocks. Okay? And now ETFs, if you will. Okay?
And now ETFs, which are wonderful, wonderful tools. I always tell people they have to have three things when they come into the market.
Yeah.
First, they have to gain the knowledge. They have to learn how the markets work. They have to know how charts work. They have to know how fundamentals work.
Sure.
They have to gain the knowledge. Then, without trading, they have to learn the discipline part of it, plan your trade. Absolutely. Sounds boring, isn't when you're making money.
Right.
And then those two things, if you do well enough at those, you gain the experience to learn how to make even more money and how to respond when the markets get chaotic.
Right. All right. Now, who's Wall Street's biggest party animals, the bulls or the bears? I know it's cyclical, right? But who's the party animals up there in Wall Street?
I think they're in a tug of war right now.
I think you're right, but we sure like to be bullish, don't we?
Oh, it's much more. You know, Americans, well, we think that way.
That's
right.
We
think that way. We like our glasses half full, not half empty. We like happy endings in our movies and our books. Everybody likes to be positive. We're a real proactive nation.
Right.
Very resilient. No matter what, we can get it done. What if kind of nation, and definitely we want the bulls in power.
That's right. Keep those bears at bay in the forest somewhere else. That's what I say. The Ringmaster years ago used to be CNBC. Everyone would tune in on. They would mention a sector or even a stock, if you will, and bingo, stock would take off. Everybody would jump in with that herd mentality. Are they still the Ringmaster today as they were 5-7 years ago?
Oh, I don't know. I think so. You know, of course, there are many. Well, you've got the fantastic radio station that you can put right on in your computer and listen to. There are other ringmasters out there. I think most televisions are tuned to CNBC.
Yeah.
However, there's so much information on the on the web right now. Again, I'm partial to tradingmarkets.com, and there's a lot of other ones. There's briefing.com. There's so much information out there, and I tell traders, become a specialist. It's just too big.
Right.
Become a specialist in 2 or 3 sectors. Become a specialist in 2 or 3 setups. Do like the famous doctors do. Become a specialist in your area and succeed there, because a jack of all trades in this market, I really believe, will have a difficult time of it.
Right. All right. Now, when I get going and I get started out there, should I open up 2 accounts or just maybe start with 1?
Well, I think brand new, you start with 1 account, and you start with a traditional online broker who offers really good service.
Right.
And then if people become interested in day trading, where you need that extra information, you need the information that direct access firms can give to you, firms, brokerage houses that specialize in traders and who have all the data feeds, the futures, all of the different commodities markets, perhaps FX markets, whatever you need.
Right.
Then you can get the extra market internals, the tick, the trend, and so forth that day traders really need. What scares me is when I hear people say, well, I've got my online account. Now, if I'm going to day trade, what do I watch? And believe me, Kurt, my heart pounds, because I think if you don't, it's like any business. If you don't have the equipment, you can't compete.
Right. Now, real quickly, we got about a minute or less. Now, day trading, it also depends on what brokerage firm you have. They have restrictions on day trading in some of these places, so you need to ask that as a question when making your inquiry to these brokerage firms. All right, now, Toni, where can we find the book at? The Beginner's Guide to Day Trading Online? Where can we find it?
You can find it at all bookstores. You can find it at certainly at Amazon. You can buy it on my website, ToniTurner.com,
Yeah.
T-O-N-I, Turner.com.
All right.
Just about everywhere.
All right, so head out today, get a copy where you can find books of A Beginner's Guide to Day Trading Online. Toni Turner is our guest here today, and head on over to ToniTurner.com. Right there, it's the name on your screen. Head on over there today. Toni, thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much, Kurt.
You're more than welcome. Stay tuned.